What's up, guys? Let's test out Mercenary Helga in Azimanak Hunt 11. So the team at the table is the one I'm going to be using. We got Dispel on Bellona's exclusive equipment. We got Unable to be buff debuff with Seaside Bellona. And I had to switch the necklace on Mercenary Helga because, well, we need that 100% crit chance because we can't rely on this thing here since we're taking damage constantly in there. But that's a very powerful rune right there, allowing you to just go with 50% crit chance on her gear. The thing is, it doesn't work when you dual attack, so there's also that you want to keep in mind. So that is her stats. Her CP is through the roof because, well, now I do have her at 100% crit chance. 55% effectiveness, you don't need that, you need 50% only, you're getting 5% from the runes. Anyways, that's her gear real quick. And to be honest, you could sort of rely on the effectiveness buff from skill 3, but I mean, it's 50%. It's nice. The thing is, the uptime is not going to be, 100%. You do have the extension with skill 2, right? So you will have a pretty solid uptime though on it. I mean, it's like going to be 75% uptime. So that's not bad. That is not bad. And we got defense break on skill 1 and on skill 2. It doesn't show on skill 2, but it's on the runes. Speed memory imprint, that's nice. Got her Daydream Joker plus 30. And let's look at the rest of the team. Their stats real quick. So that's Seaside Bellona. She's on attack percentage boots, so she deals more damage per volley. And Bellona, she doesn't have that much attack compared to Seaside. I mean, the difference is not that big, but she does have some more speed. Got Daydream Joker plus 30 on her. Anyways, it's just to test out, Mercenary Helga, see how she fares in there. Can she apply those defense breaks? We do have defense break on 3 heroes, though, but that attack buff, will it help a decent amount? Can she help us with, taking out the boss out faster? Well, we were getting the attack buff, so that's already pretty good. And, yeah, we'll see if she can actually deal some nice damage numbers there. We do have Daydream Joker on her. The boss has like 80,000 HP. Not that much. Or actually, it's 89,000, I believe. So it's not terrible. Daydream Joker can do a fair bit of damage in there. Of course, in Wyvern 11 and the Abyss, that's where it shines the most because the targets do have a higher health pool. The Wyvern at 139,000. So anyways, this hunt is about taking out the ads so you can actually deal full damage to the boss. It's there's a frenzy you need to keep in check. If you don't dispel it, the damage might get out of hand. So that's why I do have Bellona with her exclusive equipment. It will be pretty helpful. You can also block it with Unable to be buff debuff. The problem comes down to if you do land 3 debuffs on the boss, well, it will clear all debuffs off of itself. So in my case, we do have defense break on Mercenary Helga. We have it on Bellona. And Seaside Bellona, she has it as well, but she has Unable to be buff debuff. She has Unhealable, and she has target debuff. So now we're at 3 debuffs. We're over 3 debuffs. I mean, we're at 4, I believe. Defense break, Unhealable, Unable to be buff debuff, and target. That is 4. You apply 3, you're already like, the boss will cleanse itself of debuffs. So anyways, at least skill 3 of Seaside Bellona is not used so often. Okay, so it's going really well here. Oh my god, the damage is pretty crazy. Did we have attack buff on Mercenary Helga? I don't think so. Her damage should be higher than 10k, but this boss actually has a fair bit of defense. So it does take a lesser amount of damage compared to the other hunt bosses. Let's see here. Nice. It's all about taking those eggs, those cocoons out ASAP. If you don't take them out, they will hatch. They will start healing themselves, and then they will hatch. Then you're gonna have 2 ads to deal with that can attack you. The thing is, you deal full damage to the boss when it's... Yeah, it wasn't with attack buff. You know, that's 10k right here against defense, broken boss. Oh my god, the boss got destroyed. Completely destroyed on that one. Wow, it makes a pretty good difference. I was running this when she didn't have 100% crit chance, and I was trying to rely on her crit chance buff, but man, oh man, that extra bit of damage was pretty sweet there. We might have triggered some duo attacks, but it's about taking out those eggs ASAP, you know, because if you don't take them out, well, you've got all your single target damage against the boss going to waste, because it's heavily reduced by the fact that the boss, well, takes very little damage when the one or more egg is up. So you want to bring a lot of AoE. So if I was doing this with a 3-man setup with Mercenary Helga, then like a hero like a Vildred would take out those you know, eggs faster. Now, yes, I do have 2 cleavers, you know, both Bellonas. You want to increase their attack if you'd like to potentially like one-shot the eggs, but going with double cleavers does speed up the run, unless you're going with a team that can one-shot the boss, but that's going to be harder to gear for. You're going to be needing some specific heroes for that. But yeah, let's check out how it goes. Maybe that was a lucky, you know, battle. Everything went smooth and all that. Having the attack buff is definitely increasing the amount of damage per cleave, so that's very good. Let's see here, that's skill 2 of Bellona. This doesn't usually deal that much damage. It's almost taking out the egg, that's not bad. Now we got defense break on the boss, but the prime, look at the damage. It's very low because, well, the boss has the eggs up. So they need to die, and here's the passive from Seaside, and look at the damage, man, it's crazy. With the attack buff, it's beautiful. And another source of defense break is always good, speeding up your runs, having a more consistent, you know, uptime on that defense break is really nice. But that was, wait, that was 10k with attack, but I'm confused now. I am confused. That was with target debuff as well. Let's see this. I mean, she deals 3k here. The thing is, Daydream Joker is actually quite helpful in here. When you got defense break, it scales with your crit damage, it scales with defense break, and it doesn't scale with your attack. So you don't have to worry about you know, scaling up your attack that much when you're going to be relying on Daydream Joker. I mean, mostly in Wyvern. But here you need to take out the egg, so you need to deal pretty high damage per you know, cleave. Especially if your cleaves are limited, especially if you're relying on a long cooldown, then that's a different story. But with Seaside Bellona, it's pretty overpowered because, well, she constantly just uses her skill 2. And the boss does cleave the team, so your heroes are taking damage. She's building focus very fast throughout the battle. Very easy to have her just constantly using S2. With attack buff, it's quite ridiculous. I'm using Rosa Hargana on herself now. It's getting 30%. It's boosting the skill 2 by 30% because it's not actually her turn when she does use it. 7k with attack buff, no defense break was applied. I mean, Mercenary Helga, I love the fact that she can help the team. She helps the team to down the boss faster, not only with her buff, her defense break, but also she deals that extra bit of damage, which is pretty nice. Of course, her damage is very low, but you know, she's boosting the attack by 50% of herself, and you know, the other 2 Bellonas. Of course, the uptime is not 100% chance, but it definitely does help. Now you've got defense break. Now when you have defense break and attack buff, all done by one hero, that is pretty insane. She can deal damage as well. She could be your sole damage dealer in quite a few places in the game. I mean, not in Azimanak Hunt, because, well, you need to take out those eggs, and on auto that's not gonna work too well because she's a single target damage dealer. But let's see if we can get you know, that quick run again. I feel like she should deal a fair bit amount of damage. The thing is, I did reduce her crit damage. I used to have like 313% crit damage on her, right? Because I was using that crit chance buff whenever she it's her turn and she's at full health. So her crit damage went down. That's why her damage per hit will go down. It's just that it's more, you know, the damage more consistent. Because, I mean, there's a constant stream of damage being dealt to the team. we're only running one Soul Weaver, that's what's gonna happen. And there's bleed effects, so you're gonna have to swap the necklace on your Mercenary Helga depending on the content that you're gonna be doing. At least with the dual attack, she's critting, which is good. That's pretty good. I feel like she's definitely a very solid hero for being a 3-star. Her specialty change definitely made her very usable in a lot of content now. Before that, I did use her in PvP, like for speed, memory, imprint, plus the attack buff, plus the 114 base speed. That was just great, you know. Like I was using her a long time ago. You might want to check out my videos using her. I mean, that extra bit of speed you can squeeze out of that memory imprint is huge if you want to go first. So yeah, but yeah, beside that, that was pretty much it. It's just that you could have built her and used her in PvE. She has that defense break on skill 1 as well. Oh, she dipped pretty low there. But now she's definitely super usable. A very, very powerful hero. That kit is so powerful. I love it. And it's like I said, she can be that soul damage dealer in your team. She takes care of the attack buff, the defense break, and yeah, the damage. So that's really good. The thing is, of course, she's going to be spending some time to attack buff. So she's losing damage there. So it's going to be on the slower side if you don't have another damage dealer beside her. It's always nicer when you use a buffer, right? To actually have heroes that do benefit from the buff. So yeah. But in this case, she's actually helping the team to, deal damage faster. Goes pretty well. Goes pretty well. Okay, there. You know, considering the fact that Bellona has AoE attacks, right? That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. And she applies defense break, the attack, but I mean, not bad. She does have that 5% effectiveness for the whole team, but to be honest, that's an issue with her that I have. Of course, I mean, you can't really complain, but you could base her, like you could base your team around her. You could fully use that effectiveness buff if you didn't have any effectiveness on your team, because that buff 50% plus the 5% she gives the team, that's your 55%. That sweet spot in PvE, that's it. The prime is the uptime. If you're going to be running with other damage dealers and supports that have a lower amount of speed than her, of course your Soul Weaver, the one that is going to sustain your team, it needs to have a decent amount of speed or your team is going to die unless you're able to take the hits. But let's assume that there's another damage dealer, right, and it's slow. Let's say it's like 100, not even on a speed set, maybe it's like 120 speed and she's like 200 speed. I think you can do pretty good. Like that uptime on the attack buff is definitely going to work out for you. You have that 10% chance to increase the attack buff duration for 3 turns. That's not bad. It could happen, but not something you want to rely upon. It's just that you can definitely base your team around her. But I didn't. My Seaside and my Bellona, they're both like with effectiveness already. So you could squeeze a bit more stats. It could be survival stats. It could be more offense if you rely upon that buff. But you would like to have those damage dealers. They need to have a lower amount of speed if you want to have a higher uptime on the that attack and effectiveness buff. 10.9k. It really depends. It depends on what skill she is using. I mean, that skill 2 multiplier is going to be higher than that skill 1. So when I'm seeing like 10,000, damage with attack buff against defense broken, the boss with defense break, yeah, 14.8k. You see that's the skill 2. So that skill 2 is dealing almost 50% more damage. The thing is, it is actually dealing like 50% more damage, maybe even more than that, because you have to think about Daydream Joker. It's contributing for a decent amount of damage that she's doing. So no matter what skill, no matter the multiplier of your skill, Daydream Joker doesn't care about those things. It doesn't care about your attack. So you have to keep that in mind. So that skill 2, when she does use it, it's only on a 2-turn cooldown, and the multiplier is pretty decent there, and she's able to do some pretty nice hits. Keep in mind, like I said, I'm gonna bring her stats up here. She does have less crit damage than when I was showcasing her in my other videos so far. You might wanna check that out. I showcased her in the raid with a 44 camping morale team, free-to-play team, guys. I showcased her in Golem 11, Banshee 11, even Wyvern 11, and now Azimanak Hunt 11. She is definitely a very solid hero, definitely worth of doing. She's worthy of being built, to be honest. Maybe you are in late game and she's not gonna fit any role for you, like you don't see yourself using her. Just the fact that she gives a high amount of morale, maybe you don't have the right heroes to actually increase your morale high enough in your raid, your hell raid, whatever. So maybe she could be a good fit in your roster. But anyways, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon to be notified whenever I release a new video. And check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. I got playlists of all sorts for PvE and PvP, Arena, Guild Wars, guides, tips, and how-tos, and Abyss for 62+, as well as best starter guides for my early to mid-game players if you want to progress fast. Join my Discord server, guys. The link is in the description if you want to get help or even help the community. You can talk about even other games. There's a channel for that, but it's mostly about Epic 7, but still. Yeah, so anyways, that's really it for this one. Thanks again for watching. Good luck with all you do. Peace out for now.